I'm Damian Holbrook from TV Guide Magazine and TV Insider, and I'm talking with Mindy, Kaling, and Charlie Grandy from HBO Max's VELMA.
Unknown caller? Spooky. Hello? Velma Dinkley speaking.
Hello, Velma. Do you like solving mysteries?
Yeah, but I'm actually much more three-dimensional than that. Who is this?
That's the mystery. And solve it quick, because I'm in your house.
A serial killer calling from inside my house? Yes, that's a classic, and that's my point. Why change anything when the classics all still work, right? Wait, you're inside my house?
And you guys must have had so much fun writing these scripts and performing them, because it's fast. They're joke-packed episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something we've really loved about animated shows. Charlie and I are both such fans. I mean, Charlie obviously created the show, but what's so impressive about him and the staff is like to do a show that's funny, but have like also a real mystery. Like there's a serial murder in the show, to me is really impressive that you can pack all that into a half-hour show.
Right. And there was, some uproar, or some feathers got ruffled about the shading of Velma and her backstory, but that's such a minor part of all of the stories that you're telling here. Like, it obviously factors into her lifestyle, but like it's not leading it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like her identity is a big part of what people have been talking about before they've seen the show, but it's not a big part of her storytelling and her life. This is a character, she's so iconic, and the original series is so amazing, and we have really diverse cast, but it's not a show that's sort of hinged on their identity.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And for you, Charlie, what was it like getting to do these characters, knowing what you got to plant into the story? Because there's stuff that we know about them as grown-ups.
Yeah, I mean, it was a dream. Again, the fun of an origin story is we all know where they end up. So it's okay, where can we start them? And then in terms of just sort of the mystery, like I've always wanted to do a season-long mystery. And so to kind of figure that out and then work backwards and how we, where you plant that information, how it can come out in a comedic story was difficult, but it was really, really fun.
And I'm like 5 episodes in, and I'm still trying to figure out, like, how do these people actually end up as friends?
Right,
like,
exactly. And I think, and we want to keep that sort of going, and that's the fun. I mean, that's the fun. The tension of it is, because the characters, it all stemmed from this original idea of like, they're all so comfortable with each other. I mean, they're in a band all the time, and they don't really bicker. They're just, so it's like, how do you get that comfortable with people? You have to go through just a lot of shit to get to that point. And so it's fun to show what that is.
Yeah. And Mindy, when you were recording it, did you just like riff on certain pop culture references and like see which one stuck? Because it's so perfectly Mindy Kaling that like, this is the content I want.
That's so nice. I did zero improvisation. That's like, the scripts are just so tightly scripted, and it didn't need it. But I was so happy. I mean, what I love about the character is that she's sort of like has these like razor sharp feminist observations about being a young woman in that way where you're like, I wish I could have said that thing or encapsulated this moment the way that she did, or some of Daphne does, or some of the other female characters. But it's all Charlie and the staff. Like, is there a candle with my face on it in the back?
Yes, that would be the Mindy Kaling candle.
I'm so thrilled to be a religious figure.
You're an icon. You're an absolute icon. Yeah.
That's very important to me. So thank you.
Glenn and Sam, you guys get to basically inhabit the origin stories of 2 very iconic cartoon characters. Daunting or kind of like bring it on?
Like I'd say a little bit of both. Certainly bring it on, because it's just like everything is so funny, and like the idea is so great. Daunting in that, like, I just like love Scooby-Doo, and I love all the characters so much. Grew up watching them, and I know fans love to have problems with things, so I was excited to get into that realm.
Oh yeah,
very, very excited.
You were hoping to enter that conversation, right?
Oh yeah. Black Shaggy. Oh, how exciting!
Yeah.
How
But
exciting!
not only a black Shaggy, but like a sober Black Shaggy.
A sober Black Shaggy.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they couldn't wait.
Right. And now our Fred is is just as different, but it does explain a lot about the Fred we all know now. Glenn, and we talked about this at New York Comic Con. Your voice sounds higher as teenage Fred. You're doing this, right?
Yeah. I guess I just thought I don't know. That was like maybe just a sort of a very on the nose attempt at making myself try and sound younger, as if I sound like my age. I don't know. But I just thought I wanted to make him just a little bit more immature, a little bit more petulant. Just sound a little bit more like a high school kid. So yeah, I did kind of change it a little bit to make it just a little bit what I imagine a high school kid sounds like, which is probably like a total stereotype. It's definitely kids in high school that have deeper voices than me.
But given what we learn about Fred early on, it does make sense.
Yes, it does. It does. And the way I interpreted the character was completely driven by the scripts that I got handed. It was like, what do they seem to be going for here? And I was like, okay, let me kind of lean into that. Like, he's clearly like an entitled, petulant kid, and who's somewhat clueless. And yeah, I don't know. I almost describe him as almost like a innocent bully. Not, you know what I mean? Like, he's a bully, but he's like completely unaware of how offensive the things that he's saying is. Like, he's actually, like, in his mind, he's like super nice.
Right.
But he says and does like awful things. So that was a really funny thing to kind of lean into.
Everyone, do not miss Velma on HBO Max. It is very twisted. It is not for kids, but it is for very cool adults.